towards more the beginning, you were talking about, you're like, life and death. Like that's, you've had near death experiences.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most challenging emotions. And obviously no one ever wants to go back to feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
Talk us through that, of having a near-death experience and how that impacts you when you reflect on something like that.
The near-death experiences, they're not linear in terms of the, I kept going down, 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 down. It was rock bottom, and then I almost died. It wasn't that necessarily. It can, just be like, yes, I wasn't in a great place. I was in active addiction, and I used this drug and that drug, and then I ended up in the hospital, and my heart was beating out of my chest. That type of thing. But I think of this moment where I was withdrawing off of Oxycontin. I was just crying. I was in the middle of the street. It was summertime in Seattle, which is like the most beautiful place in the world. I'm biased, but it was it's the most beautiful place in the world in the summertime. And I'm there and I can't stop crying. And I see no future for happiness. All my serotonin was completely depleted. I was 100% reliant on this drug for any sort of crane to pull me out of a place of wanting to die. And I think that these near-death experiences, yes, I have had actual, you were close moments, ended up in the hospital moments close to, death. But even more scary than those are those moments where you don't care. It can even go a step further than you don't care. It goes to a place of, I don't want to be here. Those are super, super scary in hindsight. In the moment, it's like, take me.
Wow, yeah.
Take me. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not fighting for life anymore. I've gone down the trail deep enough into the forest of this that I am fine to just leave this physical space. That's scary.
Yeah, it definitely is. You're reminding me of, I had a conversation with Dennis Rodman like 3 years ago now on the podcast. And I asked him what his purpose in life was. And he said to survive another day, like to live another day. And to have someone say that in front of you, like in an interview, I was like, it really took me aback, because you're not expecting that much honesty, but in that moment, that much, vulnerability as well. And I know he's surrounded by a good group of people who are supporting him and helping him.